To yield back my time.
Thank you to Randy for his extraordinary contribution and for his leadership on these issues, especially having dealt and currently dealing with such a difficult hardship with his own family. You know, I'll never forget when Parkinson's disease and fetal tissue transplantation in the mid-1990s was being offered as the panacea, the brass ring, to try to end that very horrible disease, which we all know people, you know it personally in your own family. And unfortunately, we found very quickly that taking fetal tissue from a baby about to be aborted turned out to be an unmitigated disaster, as this very unstable group of cells would very quickly proliferate and became various bone tissue, other tissue inside the brain, causing worse convulsions and tremors on the part of the patients in whom the transplantation was given. We have a very similar, I think, a parallel today, where there's an excessive amount of hype and hyperbole about embryonic stem cells, which have a unbelievable propensity, very grave propensity, to become tumors. Not only are they killing embryos to derive the stem cells, but once those stem cells are in hand, they become tumors. They are unstable, and if transplanted into humans, there's a great fear that we would see a replication of the fetal tissue debacle of the mid-1990s. And as you pointed out so well, Randy, there is an ethical alternative that does not have the rejection factor, will not require anti-rejection drugs, whether it be CellCep or any of these other drugs that those who get transplants get. None of that would happen. And you don't have the tumor formations from these iPS cells. It seems to me that we're, Randy, if you want
and gentlemen, if the gentleman just yield briefly, and then I'll yield right back. One of the things that is so exciting for us as we look in this debate is many of the people that began, the scientists that began doing research on embryonic research, have now folded their tents and realized that they don't have to do that. They're going back and now saying we don't need to do that. We'll use iPS cells or do the adult stem cells. So,
as you said, the pioneers of embryonic stem cell are now the pioneers of the ethical iPS.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. George.